Hello, today we're going to do monochromatic painting. So when we say monochrome, you are using only one color, but different shades and values of the same color that may be applied. For example, we use purple as our color for our painting. Thus, you can use from light purple to dark purple and anything in between. So these are just values of the same color. So from light to medium to dark. So let us start our exercise by making a swatch of dark to light colors of the purple or of any color of your choice. So first, get a small amount of paint and then activate it with water. So right now this is the purple, the sample of the purple. Now we're going to add a few drops of water. Now you add some more water before you apply your next square or rectangle rather. So just continue repeating this process until you will see that there's a change of value of your color as you add more water into it. So with this exercise, you would be able to feel and realize the technique on how to change your color or value rather with the use of water alone. Now for the next column, we're going to do a wet on wet technique, wet paper with wet brush. So you get a clean brush, you wet it first with, you wet first the paper with water using your brush. So you apply water on the paper. And let it dry for a bit. Now, while waiting for it to dry, the same mixture that you have, we're gonna apply it here. But with the use of blending, you'll be able to see a gradual change of value with the same amount of paint that you're using. Okay. So right now I'm just pushing the paint upwards to create a change in value. Okay, so we're going to do the shapes using monochromatic presentation. So let's test muna. Okay. So first you do a wash over the shapes. So with the consideration of, again, with the shapes that the light would be coming from this side, I'm considering now the highlight would be somewhere here. So what I can do is get a tissue and remove a portion which I painted that would serve as a highlight. While on the cube, the top would be the highlight for me. Or how about we do something like this? For the cube, the light would be coming here. So the darker portions would be on this side, and on this side, the highlight would be at this corner. So if that's the case, this would be the effect that we are trying to achieve. So again, I'm putting a wash over. Then I'm going to dump off the corner. For this one, the light source would be coming here, so there's a vertical line here of the highlight. So what I'm going to do is to avoid that space and then put a wash on the sides where the highlight is not there. So now I'm redoing the part of the sphere. By the way, you have to, I'm skipping the shapes because sometimes you have to let the shapes dry, I mean the colors dry on the shapes. So I do this, I do this, I do this at the same time, so that I let this one dry first, and then proceed to the next one. So now I'm pushing the paint towards the bottom of this cube because, as we understand it, the light would be striking this side, so there's a gradual change of hue or value going to this side. And also on this one, must be pushed backwards. The paint must be pushed backwards. Now I'm avoiding on this cylinder, I'm avoiding this part because this is the highlight. This is the one with the little shade. Now I'm putting another layer of paint here to show that this is already going to the core shadow, or there's a gradual change in the value. Okay. Okay. So we leave it to dry for a while. Then we proceed um, for now with the scenery. So first and foremost, we wash first the the paper with a little bit of water. Preferably, there should be a little color already. Yeah. So that's a sample. So now I'm using a round brush. The importance of putting a very light color of the your monochrome color here, this would serve as the background, so it doesn't look like it's untouched because you already applied a it's like a pre-paint or like a primer to your paper. So it is important to spread the water just in case there's a bit of accumulation of water on the sides. So now, right now, I'm just spreading the water all over the paper here. It's good if you also push the colors to the corners, creating a lomo effect on the scenery that you're going to do. Yeah. So we leave it to dry for a while. Okay. So let's go back here. So right now we're going to apply a darker value on the shapes. Okay, so again, so I have already applied the third layer. You would see that there's a gradual change now on the sphere. There's a highlight, and there's the mid-tone, and there's becoming to be the core shadow, but not yet. We're going to apply some more to attain a darker core shadow on this side. While here on the cube, you would see that there's the highlight already. There's a mid-tone, another mid-tone here, because this is partially being lit. And this one, you'll see that there's a highlight, there's a mid-tone. This is the core shadow already, it's forming. Okay. Oh, yeah, by the way, so I forgot to put paint here on top, so let's put paint here. Should be the same color of the mid-tone. if not lighter. Okay, so while waiting for it to dry, we can proceed now with our scenery. So what I'm going to do here is, my idea of the scenery is a forest. So let's just put tall trees in the background. Now it's okay if some of the trees are fading. It means that they're at the background, and the ones that are dark are the ones that are at the foreground. Now you can create, let's say for example, the light source would be coming here. You can create shades and shadows with your trees by putting more value onto the branches like this. So we increase the amount of paint. Let's see. So you can use that same brush to apply shapes like this one to represent the leaves, or even some bushes, some shrubs, or you can also use your round tip brush. Oh, it's a bit wet. So how about we put some mountains here? So right now I'm just populating the scenery. So let's create something here in the foreground, probably a stream. Any reflections of them? Trees. Okay, going back here. Um, Now let's apply some more shading. Then I'll foreshadow. Now we're going to blend so that doesn't appear to be very striking and very solid. So just put enough amount of water to make it blend. And also this one. Okay, now, so we're going to put shadow. Now, of course, the shadow should be the darkest. So here, so with monochromatic painting, the cue here, or the idea here, is to create uh, a huge contrast on the shapes that you're putting, or on the application of your colors. Because with monochromatic drawing, you only have a few amount of colors that can be used. Usually, that's just like what I said earlier. Um, Only the values of that color. So to make it more appealing, there's a wow factor in your painting. You have to put a lot of contrast. Okay, so there's your shadow there. Oops. has to be parallel, of course. Okay, last here on the cylinder. There you go. So with your sphere, you're able to make a highlight, then the mid-tone, and then the dark tone, and then the core shadow, and then there's a shadow on that part. Also with the cube, so there's the highlight, there's the mid-tone, and then there's the shadow. Also here, you were able to create highlight, the mid-tone, and then and then the core shadow, and then the shadow itself. Now with the scenery, you can add more details on your scenery like this. So that's it. So you have your um, monochromatic exercise and your scenery.